Interesting that the mushroom also is a symbol in our culture of death and destruction, being the symbol of the nuclear explosion.
Yes, well,
mushroom cloud.
My brother has made the point asking, what mushroom is it that grows at the end of history? Is it the mushroom of Fermi and Oppenheimer and Teller, or is it the mushroom of Wasson and Hoffman and Humphrey Osmond?
Somehow I think the latter is safer.
Well, it may not only be safer, it may open the way to escape from the former. It's like a pun in physics, that the force of liberation and the force of destruction could take the same form. It's what alchemists call a coincidentia positorum.
It is an amazing synchronicity, it seems. Also, I was interested in talking with Andy Weil some time ago about the fact that there are new genus of mushrooms appearing that have psilocybin in them that have never been seen before, never been tracked before, and it's almost as if they're appearing now.
Well, it's amazing how many have been discovered since people have bent their attention to it. There have been psilocybin mushrooms reported from England, France, localities where, so far as we know, there is no cultural history of usage at all. However, it's interesting that cultural usage seems to disappear very early in human history. Hallucinogens are hardly even welcome in agricultural societies. I think it was Weston LeBar made the point that once you learn how to grow plants, your god shifts from the ecstatic god of the hallucinogens to the corn god, or the food god, and it no longer is about divining the hunt and weather through the ecstatic use of hallucinogens. It's about being able to get up every morning and go to work and hoe the crop. So you mentioned earlier the prejudice against hallucinogens. I think it reaches back to the beginning of agriculture. This competition among plant gods, which exemplified lifestyles that must have seemed very alien to each other.
What do you see as the future of this kind of information, this kind of knowledge?
Well, I think in a sense it signals the rebirth of the institution of shamanism in the context of modern society. And anthropologists have always made the point about shaman that they were very important social catalysts in their group, but they were always peripheral to it, peripheral to the political power, and actually usually physically peripheral, living at some distance from the village. And I think the electronic shaman, the people who pursue the exploration of these spaces, exist to return to tell the rest of us about it, that we are now coming into a period of racial maturity as a species where we can no longer have forbidden areas of the human mind or cultural machinery. We have taken upon ourselves the acquisition of so much power that we now must understand what we are. We cannot travel much further with the definitions of man that we inherit from the Judeo-Christian tradition. We need to truly explore the problem of consciousness, because as man gains power, he is becoming the defining fact on the planet in the near space area. So the question that looms is man good? And then, if he is, what is it he's good for? And the shaman will point the way, because what they are visionaries, poets, cultural architects, forecasters, all these roles which we understand in more conventional terms, rolled into one and raised to the nth power. They are cultural models for the rest of us. This has always been true. The shaman has access to a superhuman dimension and a superhuman condition, and by being able to do that, he affirms the the potential for transcendence in all people. He is an exemplar, if you will. And I see the attention that's being given to these things signaling a sense on the part of the society that we need a return to these models. This is why, for instance, in the Star Wars phenomenon, Skywalker, Luke Skywalker is a direct translation of the word shaman out of the Tungusic, which is where Siberian shamanism comes from. So these heroes that are being instilled in the heart of the culture are shamanic heroes. They control a force which is bigger than everybody and holds the galaxy together. And this is true, as a matter of fact. And as we explore how true it is, the limitations of our previous worldview will be exposed for all to see. I think it was J.B.S. Haldane who said, the world may not only be stranger than we suppose, it may be stranger than we can suppose.
As we talk about shamans and shamanism, again, that brings up cross-cultural currents. And do you see the shaman taking on a new... certainly you don't see Indian shamans walking into the metropolitan areas, but do you see the shaman taking on a new form?
Well, I believe, along with Gordon Wasson and others, but in distinction to Mircea Eliade, who is a major writer on shamanism, that it is hallucinogenic shamanism that is primary, and that where shamanic techniques are used to the exclusion of hallucinogenic drug ingestion, the shamanism tends to be vitiated. It is more like a ritual enactment of what real shamanism is, so that the shamanism that is coming to be within people in our culture. The people who feel comfortable with psychedelic drugs and who, by going into those spaces and then returning with works of art or poetic accounts or scientific ideas, are actually changing the face of the culture. I connect the psychedelic dimension to the dimension of inspiration and dream. I think history has always progressed by the bubbling up of ideas from these nether dimensions into the minds of receptive men and women. It is simply that now, with the hallucinogens, we actually have a tool to push the button. We are no longer dependent upon whatever factors it is that previously controlled the ingression of novelty into human history. We have taken that function to ourselves, and this will accelerate and intensify the cultural crisis. But I think in the end it will lead that much sooner to its resolution.